Let's talk about Faust. Faust is everywhere at the moment, and I'm not talking about just in deck lists. Every second comment on Facebook, on Reddit, on any post you can find is basically talking about Faust, complaining about people complaining about Faust, and so on. Is it a good card? Undoubtedly yes, but it does have some drawbacks. As an Anarch player myself, I can tell you that sometimes when you need these things the most, the parts of your combo just won't show up. Either your wild side is buried, your chronotype is buried and you only have 3 clicks, or Faust just won't appear. Was it a card that's needed? I would say yes. The game can be incredibly quick on the corp side of things. If you take NBN for example, they could easily do turn 2 remote play, 2 pieces of ice, get an Astro in there as well and be ready to score it. And sometimes as an Anarch player there just isn't that much you can do about it. And that's where Faust comes into play. It means that the game has to slow down a little bit. Now you need defensive upgrades like Ash, Caprice and so on. Then there's a range of ice that's good against Faust. Obviously Swordsman is one, Combine is another, Turing. But then you have ice with multiple subroutines, if you look at Hive or Spiderweb for example, or you have really high strength ice. Wraparound even is a good one, nice and cheap to res, and does the job, requires quite a lot of cards. Assassin is always fun to throw out. So there are ice that can cause problems. And that's why Faust on its own isn't so much of a problem. However, people are comboing it with the draw engine, of course, which makes it incredibly powerful, and David and Data Sucker as well. So yes, that does cause problems, and it's something that has to be worked around. But that is one reason we love Netrunner, right? It is the constant ballet between corp and runner, it's the constant to and froing of strategies. No one would really like the game if it was a case of, well, I played this at the last Store Championship last year, so I might as well break it out again. This means that you have to tailor your strategy, you have to build things, and you have to build it with certain decks in mind. That is one of the core things that makes a good player good, is the ability to read the meta and sometimes predict something or come up with something that people aren't expecting. If you look at World Championship results, for example, NBN hasn't won it yet. And that's mainly because people go in going, I need to beat NEH, I need to beat NBN, and they tech against it. So then something else comes out, like a Glacier build or a kill piece, and that is what can take things by storm as well. So yes, Store Championship season's upon us, regionals are coming up, and you're pretty much going to have to go, Faust is a thing, and build around it. I've been messing around with my own tech, and I'm far from a great deck builder, but you know, there are some good ideas there. Possibly a better player could take it and take it to the next level. But I was messing around with cards like Will-O-The-Wisp, with Keegan Lane, things that would just throw a spanner in the works of runners. I was talking to a guy the other night who uses self-destruct, which is an interesting one because if they are going to just throw away cards to get into your server, and then you manage to outtrace them because these decks are often running fairly poor, you can get an easy kill fairly easily. And let's face it, if it wasn't Faust, it'd just be another card that people are bitching and moaning about basically. We've had it with Account Siphon, which yes, is a pain in the ass to play against, but people started to learn and adapt and work around it. Now, I'm wondering if the most wanted list has made people a bit lazier. There's always been calls on Fantasy Flight to change certain cards or tweak things like Astro Script, but now there's that precedent that yes, Fantasy Flight will actually put on influence or will tweak cards. The thing is though, if Faust or if Chronotype was to have an extra influence point, Anarchs would still play it. And then people will call on Fantasy Flight to put out tech. But let's face it, we're all kind of stuck in our ways. The tech can be released. For example, Christian Grid was released for Count Siphon. That saw a bit of play alright. But then there was Sealed Vault, which is clearly against Siphon, Vamp and so on. And I don't think I've seen that played once. In fact, the only time it seems to be mentioned at the moment is because of a spoiled card that's coming up saying, oh, it'd be great in Industrial Genomics where you can trash it and gain loads and loads of money. But that seems to be its only purpose at the moment. So that's it for my rant. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and of course let me know how you're getting on with deck building as well. What kind of approach have you taken for anti-Faust tech? So I'm on Facebook and some of the Democracy and Dogma cards have been posted. We're getting to see finally some of the last ones, and some of them look really interesting. We've Freedom Through Equality, which you get to add to your score area as a point worth 1. If you steal an agenda, if you're playing against those decks that they score 3 but you have to score 4, at least it levels the playing field somewhat. And then a lot of really interesting assets. If you don't ice them, something happens. So the HP one, you get to add Operation from Archives. The Jinteki one is do some damage. But yeah, people are quite excited about the Jinteki one. as you can see from all the discussion. People theorising what's possible. And this looks quite intriguing as well, political dealings. Whenever you draw an agenda, you may reveal and install it. 4 costs, so that's pretty expensive, and the influence is quite high. But it does mean Jinteki have some fast advance options. It's also a whenever, so it should be able to trigger multiple times, as in if you have Palana out, we'll say, or you're drawing multiple agendas at once, or multiple cards at once. It looks like you'll be able to just pop them all down. It could be interesting. I'm kind of wondering if you could do the Wayland 5-3 that lets you place advancement counters on other cards. If you can just get all your agendas out, install them all, and start advancing that to advance all of them. So again, it looks like there could be a lot of horizontal building. It looks like Industrial Genomics could be really good, which of course means that Wizard could be still on the card. I just went on my Faust rant, so you may have to put up with it for another while longer. Hey guys, so the next time you see me will be post Dublin Store Championship. The next episode is Tuesday, of course, unless you know me, in which case you might see me sooner than that. This week I have been playing quite a bit on Jinteki, Saber0001 if you happen to be online. The games are recorded on my laptop, but I have had issues doing live commentary. Sound files end up getting out of sync and messed up, so I'm looking at solutions for that. The benefit of not uploading games is that people can't scout out the decks that I'm playing. Not that they would, but who knows. As for the decks I will be playing, I'm going to go with Valencia, a deck I really like playing. Finally, after Dublin, I'll be able to upload it on Netrunner DB, hopefully get some feedback, criticisms, etc. on it. On the corp side, I always end up a bit uncertain as to what to do. At the moment I've been playing a bit of Palana. Did people eventually decide on a pronunciation for that? And then I've got the Uncorrodable NBN as well, which is fun to play and might do some work, so we'll see. Of course, I will update you all on what happens in the tournament on Tuesday in another video, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get some technical issues sorted, get my sound files in order, and have some games for you in the near future. So thanks very much for watching, hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you Tuesday.